Hello, How Mac Met Cheese audience, listeners, viewers now. I'm Mac, and we have two guests with us today. Colin and Sydney.
Hello.
Hello. They just got married last year, and I don't really know much of their story, but I'm really excited to hear about it and have them on the podcast. So first, we're going to do just like a high-low buffalo to get to know you guys better and from the week. And you can also introduce yourselves a little more, just what you're doing in life, where you're going soon.
I guess I can go first. I'm going to start with my low because this is the lowest low that has ever lowed. Nebraska basketball made it all the way to the Sweet 16, and we lost to people who I'm not going to mention, but they do have bad corn. And I was sitting there just in my basement with my dad and my uncle and my grandpa, which is weird because the four of us are never together. And it was just like, man, this stinks.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's rough.
That was low.
It's tough.
My high, though, I had a great time catching up with my friends who no longer live in this state last night. We were laughing and joking, and people were in particularly funny moods, so I had a great time of laughing while on the phone with them.
Do they live in a neighborly state?
No, they live in Texas.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, and then Buffalo, what is that? Something random?
Yeah, something random from the week.
Sydney, you have to go while I think of something random.
I think my high from the week was I had a teacher come check on me, and he's like super cool, and he was just like, "Hey Sid, like how are you feeling about the class?" And I was like, "Oh, like the teachers really do care." And then I later went and interrupted his class, and I felt really cool because I remembered the upperclassmen doing that when I was an underclassman. And so that was really cool. Low from the week. I don't know. It's been a pretty good week. I guess my low for the week is I am a warm weather person, and the fact that the weather's been shifting up and down so much has just kind of been not the best.
Yeah.
All right, do you have a Buffalo, or do you want me to give mine? Since I put you on the spot so I could come up with mine.
Yeah. You go.
Okay, I'll go. I, this week, have considered getting into bird watching, something that I have constantly been like, that seems like such a boring hobby. But having sat in our living room, and there's birds in our lawn now, and I have been sitting there watching them. And I'm like, oh, I get why people sit and do this. They're quite fun.
Do you know what kind of birds they were?
No, I misidentified all of them. Because every time I would say, oh, I think that's a cardinal, somebody would be like, that's a robin. Or vice versa. I do know what blue jays are, though, because those are the only blue birds I'm aware of in this state.
Have you ever seen a mockingjay?
Mm-mm.
In my head, are they blue?
No, I don't think that's actually a bird. It's just from the Hunger Games.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Anyways. Sorry.
I just had a buffalo for the week, but I think I forgot it.
Tragic.
It was something that we did. My family went to dinner. We went to a new restaurant, and because they came to town for my brother's admitted students day, and then we went to a antique store, and they had some fun stuff there.
That's cool. Did you get anything?
I did. I got my mom a birthday present.
Oh, that's special.
Don't let her watch this episode. It'll spoil the surprise.
I would.
Yeah. Okay, I'll share my high, low, and Buffalo.
Yeah.
My high is that yesterday we had an intramural softball game for the Berean Ballers, you know?
Yeah.
And actually I think it might have been the Brain Sluggers. That's what we called ourselves. But we it was so much fun. I just had a blast. And yeah, it was amazing.
Awesome.
That's so fun.
We didn't lose either. We didn't win, but we didn't lose. We tied.
Wow.
And we kind of have a thing with losing, so it felt good. Yeah.
Is the thing with losing that you guys do it often?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty often. But there have been some close games. But yeah, the softball game was really fun. It was also at 10:30 p.m.
That's so late.
So, yeah. It was very late. But yeah, a huge blast. I haven't played softball in like over 5 years. Wow. So it was just so fun to throw a ball around. Yeah. Okay, my buffalo is that I was talking to like some guys yesterday about how they do like a nod or like an upper nod or a lower nod. And I was like, okay, what's the difference? And they were like, okay, if you do a lower nod, it's like you're acknowledging the other person, but it's not like you necessarily like want to see them or like want to like talk to them. And you can elaborate, Colin. But then if you do like an upper nod, it's like, hey man, like it's good to see you. Is that true?
I'd never thought of it, but yeah, that is true. I'm like thinking through who I upper and lower nod to, and yeah, I think that's.
But then, okay, part of the buffalo is that today I was riding my bike to class and I saw this guy running and he did like a and I did like a back. But I was like, oh my goodness, I just did that and I didn't realize it either. I was like, I guess I do the nods too. But like, I don't know. It was weird.
I don't know. I think, and maybe these guys disagree with me. I feel like too, it depends on the situation. Like if it's a low key thing, like if I see somebody across a crowded room and it's like, I want to talk to you, it's an upper nod. But it's like, we're not talking right now, but I want to acknowledge it. It's a lower nod.
Oh.
It's kind of like I'm indicating how much we need to like talk right now.
Mm-hmm. And it's a good form of communication. Because I was like, I feel like I would understand that if you did that across the room.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, it's like one of those things I like heard about that recently and then I asked them about that and they're like, yeah. So it's kind of weird. I think I'm going to go with Sydney on like the weather. That's my low. I really like warm weather. So then when I get it, I'm super happy. And then when it just like turns cold again, it's like, what's going on? But yeah, another question. If you could have like the perfect weather, like all year round, what would it be? Or like, would you want seasons? Would you want it to be like 65 and sunny all the time?
Well, you have an answer for this because we've talked about it.
If it could be like 80, no wind, I would love that. And like, I enjoy the seasons, but if I could like live somewhere not in Nebraska and then come back for like one day of snow, that would be enough for me. And otherwise, like I like a little bit of rain, like some gray skies, some storms, but like 80 no wind. And people are like, that's so hot. And I'm like, if it's less than 80, it's cold out.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but I'm with you. I think like being a little bit on the warmer side, like 80 and no wind is huge. And I think we would both agree we would prefer it humid as opposed to dry.
Nope.
Really? I have bad news for you about where we're moving then.
Yeah, I do prefer it dry to humid, but I'll live.
Okay.
Wow. I don't know what I would prefer. I like the really humid, hot summers. That sounds crazy.
They're nice though, aren't they?
They're like, well, yeah. Like, because I was in Wyoming last summer and it was so dry that it was cold. And like, it wasn't summer until like July, like mid-July. Then I was like, okay, now this is like, feels like summer. But yeah, I miss like the humid, hot summers where like it feels really good to like jump in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like have some like iced lemonade. That's so refreshing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now my next challenge for you. So we talked about this a little bit, but the song. So I'm actually just going to give you guys the floor for like 3 minutes. And you're just going to come up with like lyrics to a song and like a little tune or like melody. Maybe some harmony in there. And yeah, you got 3 minutes to come up with a song about your story and about like Could be how you met, where you are now, just like little things. Could be anything. Okay, I'm going to start a timer.
Listen, I'm looking to you for this one. You have a piano and 3 guitars hanging up in the house.
One of them's a ukulele.
They're even better. And you have your trombone.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't tell you the last time I played a musical instrument or sang.
You could beatbox.
I was going to say, you want to rap?
No, I can't do that
Do, like,
either.
some snaps.
Oh yeah, I can snap. No, I'll sing. What are we singing, fast or slow?
Are you ready for the timer
Oh
to
yeah,
start?
yeah. Go ahead and
Okay,
start it.
ready? It started. Go.
Whatever you do in the microphone though, because I can't hear you with the
Oh,
headphones.
okay, my bad.
No, I liked where you were going with that.
We met playing volleyball.
Oh yeah.
I love that. We played with a bunch of friends and all. I don't know.
Oh, that rhymes. Wow, well done.
I like rhyming. No. Then got to know each other playing basketball.
Yeah, I guess we did. Yeah.
Then one night after games with friends, you walked me to my dorm.
Yeah, that's cute.
Oh, thank you.
I know you're waiting for you to contribute, man. The wheels are spinning, but I think the hamster might be dead. No. You did say no.
As a song. I was doing a month of singleness, and Colin asked me out. So I said no. Or actually, maybe later.
Oh, that's gonna bring in a little spoken word.
I do like spoken word. Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
And then we
Dated.
yeah. Well done.
For a while. The only song I know is American Pie by Don McLean.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there were any you did the residency. I did engineering. We went through a bunch of school. And that was really cool. I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. You keep starting these phrases. I'm like, bro, where are you going with ending a phrase with residency? And then you bring it together.
Thank you.
You've got about 1 minute left, too, by the way. So
After 2 more years,
We got married.
we got engaged.
Oh, darn. I was close. We got married a little bit after that.
Yeah.
All right, do we want to take it from the top? Because we only, cause we got to
Oh, do we
remember
have to go through and do all this again?
Yeah, she's nodding like we have to.
Okay. I don't remember anything that I've said.
We met playing volleyball.
And then later playing and then continued playing basketball. You remember the next part?
Somebody rewind the tapes.
And then one night after hanging out, you walked me to my dorm.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said no.
Okay, I can do that part.
Again from the top?
Yeah. Oh, that's our
No.
time. All right,
the time.
we're just gonna sing it straight through. Here we go.
Okay.
Are we real quick? Are we singing it? Are we trying to actually harmonize this? Okay. Do you want me to sing it all?
Time, yeah.
Okay. Am I singing part 1 or part 2?
Part 1.
Okay. We met playing volleyball.
And then continued playing basketball.
Then one night after hanging out,
He walked me to my dorm.
where she said no.
Well, really, maybe later. I was doing a month of singleness.
I totally forgot where we're going after that.
And then we dated for 2 more years.
Woo!
And then we got engaged, then we got married. The end.
Yay. And then you live happily ever after.
And you got to be on How Mac Met Cheese.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yay. That was great.
Thank you.
I learned a little. I laughed a little.
Wow.
I was impressed.
Thank you.
Sydney is wonderfully impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so you met playing volleyball, or was it basketball?
So we met sand volleyball through, I went to one Navigators night and I signed up for their intramural team, and then I never went to Navs again. But I came to Berean, shout out.
Yeah. Well, I was many years ago, I started a Navigators volleyball team with some other guy friends because we thought, oh, well, if we want to meet girls, we can start a volleyball team. Let's like co-ed, and then all the girls will come hang out with us. And it did work. Unfortunately, that was not the reason that none of us had girlfriends at the time. It was actually because we were immature. But then years later, as we were finishing up our college careers, yes, we met on that volleyball team.
Mm-hmm. And then we actually lost contact. And then one night I was playing basketball with my friends at the rec or something like that. And then he was playing volleyball with some friends at the rec. And he was like, oh, can I get your number for a basketball chat?
Yeah, but this was so clever. I went up to her and all of her friends. I was like, hey, can I get all of your numbers? I couldn't even, I know I've met them. I could not tell you which one of your friends was there that night because I basically just wanted your phone number.
So we played, and then we started playing basketball together, and I thought he was trying to set me up with another one of our friends. He was like, do you think this guy looks hotter with or without his glasses? And I was like, do you want me to date him?
We were trying real hard to help him out.
Yeah.
Still are. You know who you are.
And then we kept texting, kept talking, hung out some more at the rec, hung out at like church and stuff. And then he sent me a text that said, I really like you. I would like to spend more time with you. And I asked my roommate what she thought that meant. And she said, I wouldn't read into it. Hope was almost lost.
Thank you. So often her friends like, yeah, you needed to be more direct with her. I'm like, dude, how much more direct could I have been?
I mean, that was pretty direct. But also, like, what does that mean exactly? Or like, I'd like to spend more time with you.
With people?
Yeah.
Just us?
Well, I was saying, I wasn't like quite ready to ask you out at that point. I still wanted to get to know you better, but I was like, I'm kind of leaning that direction.
I think it was good.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that was fair. And then funny story.
Oh, so we're forgetting a big component of all this happening in the background.
So I met him in like September, and then I went home for homecoming weekend in Kearney, and my mom was like, hey, there's this new family in the like who just like are now band parents, like you should meet them. And so I like went and met this new couple, and they were like, oh yeah, our son goes to UNL. And I was like, is your son Colin? And they were like, yeah.
What?
I met his parents the weekend after I met him.
And
That is crazy.
And I wasn't there. And also, before any of that happened, our younger siblings met and became like immediate friends.
Mm-hmm.
And like to this day, they are still good
They're
friends.
still friends.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So then I had added pressure before I asked her out because I was like, if I ask her out and we go on like 3 dates and then things go south, we have now ruined our parents' friendships and our siblings' friendships because they'll have to take sides.
Mm-hmm.
They might not have.
But my parents invited his family to a New Year's Eve party, and he came. And so we actually hung out New Year's that year. And then
Mind you, I skipped out on what ended up being a legendary New Year's party in Lincoln that my friends threw.
for a girl.
Mm-hmm. And it was the right decision.
I was, I think.
And then in January, I was like, I'm done with boys. And so in February, I did a month of singleness where I was like devoted to God so that I wasn't like thinking about guys and like not doing that stuff. And it was awesome. And then 2 weeks into my month of singleness, this guy asks me out. And I was like, God, what are you doing? And so I was like, well, we're going to test this kid real quick. Well, not really test, but like, I was like, hey, so here's the situation. Later?
Which I took to be the most like I called it a very confusing yes. And what I thought she was doing, because I think this is not an uncommon thing, is like when a girl gets asked out and she doesn't want to say no, she'll like be like, oh yeah, I'm like doing like a singleness kind of thing right now. So maybe we can circle back to that in a few months or whatever. Haha. And it's just like to buy time and hopefully he loses interest. And I thought that's what was happening to me.
But no, I was actually interested, and I proved that by sending him tickets to a concert that was it in the fall or was it later that spring?
Well, yeah, so I went home from this and I was like, my roommates were kind of like, hey, how'd it go? And I was like, maybe good, not really sure. And a couple of days later, I was kind of like, yeah, like that is probably just a non-starter. That's fine. And then out of the blue, she kind of texted me. She was like, oh, here's concert tickets it was like 3 months away to go see Four King and Country. She's like, do you want to go together? I was like, so maybe she is planning on dating?
Wait, where was this for King and Country concert at?
The Omaha.
Oh, never mind. Wasn't there. But that's cool.
Was this when you were touring with them?
Yeah. Yep,
That's
it was.
funny.
Great.
So yeah, we went on some dates and we went on some more dates, and he did the residency through Berean, which was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And I continued my biosystems engineering degree because he was a senior and I was a freshman, so he graduated that year.
Mm-hmm. I have to put this out here, though, to make it seem less bad. I am young for my age, and she is old for her age. It was not that bad.
It's not bad at all.
Although the age gap did almost lead me to not ask you out. That was another reason I was hesitant. I was like, do I really want to be a senior asking out a freshman? That feels weird. At least it felt weird at the time.
And then November of 2024.
Yeah, that sounds right.
We went on a date and we got engaged.
Wow.
And then July of 2025, we got married.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So it was just like a really pretty smooth ride for the most part?
I actually don't know how I would answer that. I'm curious what you say.
What do you mean by that?
Well, so you just like, you went on a couple dates, then you got engaged, and then you got married. But like when did you like make it official?
That we were dating?
Mm-hmm.
I called him my boyfriend the week before our date. And so
that's when?
Well, that's when she started doing it. Yeah, on our first date, you brought up pretty much right away. You're like, hey, we're official now, right? And I agreed to that.
Were you not ready?
It wasn't that I wasn't ready. I just was surprised. You broke a lot of first date rules, though.
Yeah.
One of the first things we talked about at Hertz Donuts, great first date location, she brought up every guy she'd ever liked and some of whom she had dated. So that was interesting.
That is interesting.
What can you do?
Well, it worked. So.
Yeah. No, honestly, it was not. It wasn't like a bad thing. I remember sitting there being like, I don't think this is what you're supposed to do on a first date. But it worked. We danced at our first date as well.
Mm-hmm. At Hertz Donuts?
Mm-hmm.
You danced at Hertz Donuts?
Yeah, we were the only two people sitting upstairs. And did you play a song?
No, it was like music playing from the speakers. And I was like, oh, I like this song or something like that.
That's so cute. I totally know exactly where you're talking about, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
They still have, there's one table up there that seats two people.
So you took it?
Dude, I want to.
If anybody from Hertz Donuts hears this, that was a joke. We would not take that.
No, like if they ever are getting rid of it, I want that table and chairs specifically.
Yeah.
It's ours.
It would be nice.
That would be so special. Yeah. I'm
trying to think, what other there were things that happened while we dated. I'm just not remembering them right now.
Trying to remember. When you say smooth, I was like, oh, we had our ups and downs like everybody.
Okay. I have a question for you, actually. has to do with dating. So how did you overcome the unexpected trials like in life or just with dating together?
I would say a lot of communication and humility, because like I think one of the things that I learned through dating was like my way is not always the right way. Difficult lesson.
I think that's something everybody learns. Like, I definitely learned a lot of that. Like, one of the things that I've been telling people recently is tell me if you agree or disagree with this, but I have yet to find a problem that we've encountered that is not at least partially solved by me just being like less of a selfish jerk. Even if it's not in like a way like, oh, people on the outside are like, oh, you're being a selfish jerk. Like, there's just always more of yourself you can give up, or a more sacrificial attitude you can adopt towards the other person. And doing that will always help. As long as it's a healthy relationship. In an unhealthy relationship, that's probably not true.
Yes, that is an important part, because like one of the things that we've learned through marriage is like outdo each other in love. Like you did 6 dishes, I'm going to do 7 dishes. Like not like to keep score, but to be like, oh my goodness, that was so sweet. Like, thanks for loving me in this way. I want to love you too.
Conversely, I think also one of the things we have learned, probably you more so than me because you are more like sacrificial and acts of service oriented, is you do sometimes have to allow the other person to love you. Mm-hmm. I think we both at times have struggled with that idea.
Yeah.
So you can take the serve sacrificially idea too far if you then do it selfishly and don't allow the other person to sacrifice for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that before. That's good. What was like a favorite little quirk that the other person has always had that just like makes you smile? Colin's got his.
I have like a dozen things about Sydney that endlessly make me chuckle. I think one of my favorites, because this was one of the first things I remember thinking was a little bit odd, is Sydney loves to just like see something and just say what it is. Like, I distinctly remember we were driving somewhere, I think on the interstate, and like we drove past a semi. She just pointed at it and goes, "Semi." Like, at first I was kind of like, I don't know how to respond to that. And once I learned that you're not necessarily looking for a response, you're just acknowledging that you're seeing a thing and wanting someone else to share in that.
I have a lot of like little joys in life, and there's like lots of things that like I don't always have the like words to say, like, that is a really pretty flower. I just go, flower.
Yeah. And once I learned that that's what you were trying to communicate, and it wasn't like, because at first I thought it was like a game, like, okay, so she said semi, I need to figure out why. No, the thing is, she's like, she saw it and liked it. And that has helped me to appreciate the little things in life, because you are better at slowing down and enjoying life than I am. I like to jump to the next thing. You like to sit.
Wow. The balance is good.
We do balance each other out pretty well. Something that makes me smile. I think you're just a like really funny guy, period. And you do a lot of like funny things. I'm trying to think of like, I don't know, you just make me smile regularly.
Thank you. Does my inability to be serious ever frustrate you?
Un poco.
That's fair.
I'm nonchalant.
That's true. That's actually the best advice that we can give out, I feel like, from the stage of life we're in right now, is like, just chill out. Like, most things, if you're just like a little bit more chill about, life just goes smoother when you're married.
That's fair.
At least that has been true for us. Maybe that just indicates that we both are the kind of like people that like to like be a little too like intense about things.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm speaking nonsense. You can disagree with me.
I was trying to think. I was like, yeah, I agree.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, what's like one extra bonus that you didn't ask for, but like you received from God, like about one another?
I have a silly one, and then I'm going to think about a more serious one. Colin helps me wake up in the morning. I'm so blessed. Like, I feel so spoiled when, like, because I am not a morning person and not good at waking up without multiple alarms. And so, like, he'll come in at, like, 7, and he's like, hey, are you ready to get up? And I'm like, no. And then he's like, all right, how much time do you want? It's just very sweet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just waking up is a process for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, there's several things that come to mind. I think the first one, probably because of what we're doing right now, if we were not together, I don't know if I would ever have left Lincoln. Like I've just become so comfortable here, but because of your career, we are now moving to the East Coast. And I'm super excited. That's something I've always wanted to do, but just knowing myself and how I'm wired, I don't think I would have ever been brave enough to take that step, like, on my own.
Yeah.
So that's an extra thing that I did not think about when we got married. But it's cool.
I think you help me think about things. I think that's an added bonus because I'm not a super like self-reflective person, and I don't think I'm a very reflective person, period. And so like the fact that you self-reflect, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like I want to do more. And you like ask me some good questions, and I ask some good questions, but like I've really appreciated how you've like helped me think more about things.
Wow. Thanks. I'm going to piggyback off of that. And this is not a direct answer to the question, but one of the things that has surprised me about you that I like is, in my head before we started dating, I always assumed I would end up marrying somebody who is similar to me in that they really like to have the like real heady, deep, like philosophical debates and arguments and talk about politics and theology all the time. Because that's how I am. The fact that you are not at all that way is really good for me because I think it pulls me out of that, and it's good to live in the real world and not like the theory like headspace all the time, which I didn't think I would like in a partner, but it has actually been awesome that you sometimes when I try to talk about those things, you're like, no, we're going to talk about real life for a little bit.
And I brought you a new brother who you can talk about those things with.
Yes, and your brother and I can stay up till 3 a.m. talking philosophy or politics.
Wow. Has there been any other like opposite things that you've noticed about yourselves or that you like didn't expect?
We are a lot opposites.
I'd say we have a lot more opposites than similarities.
He's fast, I'm slow. Just in general.
That's probably true. I would have people over to our house every single day if I could.
Wow.
I would live deep in a forest by myself.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that is a lot different. So very extroverted.
Yeah.
And just like not as extroverted. Maybe introverted?
Maybe introverted.
Yeah. I feel like that's always hard.
Sydney's an interesting introvert, though, because she equally parts loves people, but just like requires a decent amount of time like to herself to recuperate. Like people are very draining to you, even though you love them. Because you're a better like lover of people than I am.
What do you mean by that?
I feel like you are way more thoughtful and caring towards people when they're at our house. Like I want them over there that it's like for the entertainment value. Like I like to hang out and have fun. You know, when people come over to our house, you're thinking like, oh, we can like make a meal for them, or we can check in on this thing that they mentioned last time they were here and see how they're like doing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other ways where he's controversial and I'm a peacekeeper.
It's true. I love conflict.
I was going to say, that's not always like in my head, I'm like, controversy is the negative and peacekeeping is the positive. But he's helped me to learn that that is not always the case.
Yeah. Well, and you have taught me too that like, as much fun as it is to talk about controversial ideas or to always be like comparing and contrasting things, sometimes it's better to just choose like the peaceful option or the calm option. Like life doesn't have to be chaotic all the time. Even though I think it's more fun.
Yeah. Okay. Another question I have is like, what's one attribute you've seen in the other person that has like grown or expanded your view of who God is? And that kind of has to do with what you guys were just talking about. But like seeing those opposites and like maybe not expecting them, but being like, wow, I actually learned a lot about God in this, or like through this. Yeah, if you have any examples.
I have one from early on when we were dating. We were talking about prayer for some reason, because we talk about things. And you like, I have like a very, because I think I'm a theology nerd, I have like this very like, I'm going to say Old Testament idea of God where he's like very much like the king on the throne. He's like, do that happens, and very like, And he's like a serious figure. And we were talking about it, and you were talking about, you open your prayer and you're like, good morning, God. I'm like so happy to see you. And you were like, and he responds back, he's like, oh, good morning, Sydney. I'm so happy to see you too. And he gives me a hug. And I was like, I have never thought of God in that sense. Like, is this like friendly, welcoming figure? And I still struggle with that because in my head, I'm like, if I was God, I wouldn't be that way. But God is better than I am. And you have helped me to see that one of the ways he is smarter than I am is that he is like a very friendly and welcoming fella. And he does get happy when you wake up. He's like, I'm so excited to like do today with you.
I forgot that I used to open up my prayers like that. I could go back to that. I think you've helped me with the trust aspect of trusting God, and also like, because I'm a very like, what can I do? What can I control? And like, you've helped me learn a lot of like, no, like God actually has this. Like, we don't even have to give it more thought. And I'm like, whoa, that's so freeing.
That's interesting to me because I would say, and I'm curious what you think, because I don't think we've ever talked about this. When we started dating, I would have said that you taught me more about trusting God than I taught you. 'Cause I feel like I didn't know how to trust God when we started dating, but then like through the residency and some of the things that happened in my life, I felt like I kind of had a crash course in like, here's how you have to trust God. So I kind of took that. I would agree, like, that's one of the stronger points of my faith now.
Yeah, I would agree. That, like, definitely started out that way, and then through everything that you experienced with the residency.
Yeah. It sounds so dramatic when we say it that way. Basically, I got, like, really sick. And that was it for, like, a month. And then, I don't know, but that month taught me so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's cool. Let's see. Do you guys have like, so, okay, you're 75 years old. You're just like hanging around, swinging on the porch, not swinging, on your rocking chairs. You're probably not swinging at 70. Maybe you're swinging at 75. But like, what's one thing you would be like, hey, like, do you remember this? Like, we laughed so hard about that. Or like, that was a really fun date or something like that. Like, what would you want to remember when you're 75? About a time now, or like a recent time.
Doing the How Mac Met Cheese podcast.
Oh.
I think pretty obviously.
Yeah, that's obvious. Okay. What's the second best? Well, actually, you won't even need to remember it. You can just go find it.
I know.
Oh, Sydney's got one.
Do you have one?
I don't have one.
She does not have one.
We've had a lot of laughs together, and so I was laughing.
Okay. I know. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. You're right. I think for me, we didn't do a ton of trips growing up, and we have taken a lot of awesome trips together, either just the two of us or in groups. So, like, our honeymoon, we went to Iceland. That was probably like the 4 or 5 like most fun days. I forget how long we were even there. 4 days. Like, as far as just like it literally just felt like it was you and me adventuring in an unknown land, which is what it was. But it was so awesome. Like just exploring this new country together.
Even now when I'll see something and it'll remind me from Iceland, or I'll see pictures from the trip and I'm like, oh, Colin, do you remember when we were in Iceland?
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Or even just like the trip we took to Texas like a few weeks ago. Like that was a ton of fun. I think this is something that's changed in me since meeting you. I'm trying to also help you, unless you've thought of one.
No.
Okay. Before Sydney, I always thought of travel as like a stressful thing that I didn't like or didn't want to do. And you have changed that for me because you're good at traveling. I am not good at traveling, but you are. And you being good at it, you've taught me things. I'm like, oh, it actually isn't that bad. Because I used to be such a homebody. I never wanted to leave like my city or like my area. But traveling with you is fun.
I don't know. We've had so many like funny times, and even like our wedding was a super fun day.
Yeah, cop out answer though. You can't say your wedding, dude.
Fine.
Everybody wants to remember their wedding. Well, I guess not everybody. Most people want to remember their wedding.
No, but ours was like so cool and good though.
I will flex. Sydney is a brilliant planner, and we did have probably the best wedding I've ever been to. Even taking out my own bias of like that it was ours, I do think like we had an awesome wedding.
You should, talk about what was like top 5 things wedding.
I love that we just hyped it up, and now we're both like, huh?
So one of the fun things for me is we invited a ton of people, and then a bunch of people couldn't make it because it's like we did it in the middle of July, so it's like peak travel season. There was mission trips going on. So one of the things that happened is like 2 weeks before our wedding, we had all these empty seats that we would paid for at the venue. Oh. So we got to just start inviting random people we hardly knew.
You invited me, you and your whole family, just come. I couldn't make it, but.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember you inviting me. Yeah.
It was just great. Like there was 2 guys in particular I had met, I think twice, like in my life they were kind of like friends of friends. And the second time I met them, I was like, hey, do you guys just want to come to my wedding? And I like remember sitting at the head table and looking out and seeing them there. I was like,
hey.
Yeah, it was like, it was just so funny. I was like, these guys they hardly know me. Like they know almost nobody here and they still showed up.
We did a hayrack ride to do some pictures. That was super fun. All of our like music stuff was really fun. Like the fact that I did my like first dance with my dad, and then he did his first dance with his mom, and it was funny.
So I can't dance to begin with, and my mom like can dance but doesn't very often. And like both my mom and I are not very touchy-feely people. Like we had never like we don't even hug very often. So for us to dance was already kind of just like awkward. It's like, oh, we don't normally do this. And we'd picked a fast song that like, and I struggled to find the beat even in practice. What I didn't account for, it was so loud when we went to do our dance that I could hardly hear the music. So like 15 seconds in, I lost the beat and could not find it. So it was just us like dancing off beat horribly.
I'm sure it wasn't that fun.
It was.
I'm sure
rough.
it wasn't fun.
Oh no, we were both laughing.
Oh yeah,
time. It was great.
Yeah, that's.
And we planned for it to be a short song, so it wasn't like we were out there for 5 minutes bumbling around.
But yeah, and then the next day, we had people over to play Super Smash Bros. And video games.
What?
Yeah,
that's so fun.
So I'll jump on top of that. One of the fun things for me that unfortunately didn't involve you was. It was a really cool, for me, I had a bunch of friends that we were roommates in college. And then after college, we kind of like went our own separate ways to other states. And this was one of the first times we'd ever all been back together was at our wedding. So I just remember like the days leading up to and following it were so fun because it was for me like, there was obviously the great parts of you, but I was also celebrating this with guys who meant a ton to me that I didn't get to see very regularly. In particular, like... Women have it horrible the morning of the wedding. You're up so early. You're so busy doing hair and makeup. I remember we, as guys, we got up at like 8 a.m. We went and hung out at like a coffee shop. We drove to the venue, changed. We were playing Brawl Stars for like 2 hours. It was some of the most fun. I know you guys were stressed and busy and getting poked. Somebody got burned. Mm-hmm. But I had a great time while you guys were suffering.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's good. That's fun. So you're going to North Carolina soon in May.
Yes.
Supposedly.
What is something that you guys want to keep doing to keep your marriage healthy?
There's an idea we talked about like 2 days ago. No, Sunday. Today's Monday. We talked about it yesterday. That we want to do is I love whiteboards. That's how I keep all of my ideas organized. And we're going to try to keep a running prayer list on our whiteboard, like prayers and praises for ourselves and the people in our life.
I was not locked in when you say that, but I love that idea.
We talked about it yesterday. Not like at length or anything. I just mentioned like it would be a fun idea, and you were kind of like, yeah, we can do that. But I think that'd be a great idea. And my idea was it's like a constant check-in for each other to like check in on what can we be praying about, and then for us to keep in touch with people back home.
Yeah.
And then if it's written down, then when we call somebody we haven't talked to in 2 weeks, we can be like, oh, hey, there's that thing I was praying for, because it's written on the whiteboard and we're cheating and looking at it. Be like, how's that thing going, sis?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. As far as like keeping our marriage healthy, I think like one thing that we've definitely learned through just being in a relationship period, like start to like wherever you're at, like make sure that you're spending time with the other person, but also making sure that you have you time and time with like your friends. Like him talking about how awesome it was to spend time with his friends. That was awesome. Like making friend networks in North Carolina is going to be like so vital to our marriage, because it'll be like if we just like cling to each other and just like not like hide away from community, but like don't have that community that we can like go to and like grow in our own faith, grow in like we love each other, but like we can't spend all our time together.
True. Yeah, I feel like one of the things we had to learn early on being married and living together was we like each other more when we don't see the other person all day, every day. Because for a while, like if we were home, we were just, both of us were in the living room. And eventually I think that kind of started to grate on both of us because the other person was always there. And then we now have a system where we regularly check in like, hey, do you want alone time or together time right now?
Mm-hmm.
And that has been awesome because now when one of us wants alone time, it's not like a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a good thing because we go there, recharge, and then we can come back together at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun.
Yeah. Don't they say like absence makes the heart grow fonder or something?
Mm-hmm.
It does.
And even if it's just short spurts, sometimes it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And community is like, yeah, that's really important. So that'll be cool to see how like that starts out in North Carolina. And how like because like Colin likes to host things and you do too.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be like really cool to get to bring a community there and maybe start one too.
Yeah. That's one of the things we have not talked about this, but I've at least thought in my head is like, we both have a really good like kind of rhythm right now of serving regularly and we're in a good life group and we have good community outside of the church. Like I'm hopeful and I'm trying to think of ways we can continue that to kind of hit the ground running out there because we are in such a good spot now. I would like to continue doing a lot of the good things we're doing just now in a new place.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to like totally starting over our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's something that like you learned about each other's personalities once you got married that you're like, oh, I didn't know that like they did this, or like I didn't know that they would say something like that, or just, but it like it's not like a bad thing, but it's just like, oh, I did not know that about Colin or Sydney.
You have a face like you were going to say something.
There you go.
Okay. Sydney, the whole time we were dating, swore up and down that she was a morning person.
Oh.
So to my shock, like a month into marriage, I'm like, dude, every morning Sydney like wakes up later than she said she was going to, and she's super groggy. What's gone wrong? I thought like I was doing something, and it turns out you're just not a morning person.
I also learned that, honestly. I really thought I was.
Do you is that what you want to be as a morning person?
Yes.
Yeah.
But what you want to be and what you aren't always the
Yeah,
same.
that's true. I'm definitely not a morning person either. So I don't know. It's I'm not a morning or a late night. I'm just I'm just a person.
You're like, I'm just there.
Yeah. What's okay, this is really off topic, but what's the perfect amount of hours to sleep? For you, that you're if I get this many hours of sleep every day for a week, I'm going to be on fire.
9.
Same. Mine's 9 too. It's perfect. 9 is perfect.
For me, it's 7.
Oh, yeah. That's too short amount of time.
But
that's good. I guess you can get more done.
It's so funny because he can go to bed later than I do and get up earlier than I do. And he's locked and loaded. And I'm
Wow.
It's kind of thing that both my mom and dad's side of the family are short sleepers. Nobody's really a snoozer on my side of the family. Conversely, though, nobody on my family is good at rest in general or slowing down, which is something that I do try to take from you because it is a good thing to slow down sometimes. And watching you do it has been helpful to me.
I think going back to what was the question before this? Something you learned about the other person?
Mm-hmm. Or their personality. Wait, or did I?
I don't know that this is specific to his personality, but learning the difference between our family dynamics was definitely a big thing that I learned in our marriage.
Yeah, we come from very different family systems.
How different? Or yeah.
My family is can be very loud, and we love each other, and we talk, and we share food, and we'll sit down to watch a show together, and then we go and we talk during meals, and we all sit together during meals, and you show up to everything of all the other family members' stuff, and what would you say?
Yeah, I think that's true. Your family is very much you're very together.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas my family operates more as a collection of individuals. And I think that there's merits to both. Actually, the first thing I thought of is your family is so touchy-feely. Her brothers, I could not figure it out when we first were dating. They would be talking to each other, and then they would just grab each other and start kind of hugging, but kind of wrestling and kind of throwing each other, and just while they're having a conversation. And I couldn't figure out why they were doing that until I realized oh no, this is just how they communicate love. Whereas my family, we really, we don't really touch each other that much.
What was yeah, how did you grow in that or learn okay, this is not something that Colin's as familiar with, but that's not a bad thing. That's just how he was raised or how I grew up.
I think both of us see merits in certain aspects of how the other person was raised, and so we've kind of gotten to pick and choose okay, do we like this aspect, do we like this aspect? And one thing for my family is because you do so much of the events, we have had to learn to set up boundaries with them, because I would get super anxious if I missed something, and it's no, I don't have to, especially because I live 2 hours away, and now we're gonna live 22 hours away.
True. Yeah. Well, there are some things that I still haven't gotten over. I am a germaphobe. I can admit that. But also, yeah, you guys share everything. Food, drinks. Can I tell the napkin story?
It's kind of gross.
The Kleenex story?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So this is probably the grossest thing I've ever seen in person with mine own eyes that did not involve animals. Well, kind of. Your brothers are animals. Her youngest brother and middle brother, I forget which one was which. One of them was eating soup, and the other one blew his nose, threw the dirty Kleenex in the bowl of soup, and the other one just kept eating and didn't take it out.
That is really gross.
Thank goodness we were already married by then, because I don't know if I could have gone through with it otherwise. I was just like, there's no way I'm watching this happen.
What did you do about it?
Like I just I was shocked because like I can't touch food if I haven't washed my hands like immediately before.
I think I said, "You stop eating it. There's a napkin in there," or like whatever.
Yeah.
Did he know?
Oh no, he knew. It was pretty obvious.
And I think he stopped eating shortly after, but
it did eventually get removed before he finished it. I think you or another brother pulled it out, but no, just watching that, because like for me, if the napkin or the Kleenex touched my bowl of soup, that's it. The soup's done. We're just getting rid of that one, and we'll get a new one some other time.
Yeah. Sydney, okay, I have a question. Did your family, like when you're little, like did you and your siblings share a sucker? Like would you share a sucker?
Do I remember sharing suckers? No. I also really liked candy growing up, but we probably would have.
What about like ice cream? Like would you lick an ice cream cone and then like your brother would like lick an ice cream cone?
See, it's interesting because like hearing you say like licking stuff, that like kind of, it's weird because that sounds weird to me. But the other day I had cheesecake and with my fork, and so like fully in my mouth, and then my brother took it. He ate a bite fully in his mouth. My mom took it, fully ate a bite. My other brother took it. Like, so we have no, like, the other day we went to a restaurant and, like, every plate got passed around. We specifically did this because you weren't there. Every plate got passed around and everybody took a bite of everybody else's food.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I guess, yeah, having a whole fork, like, in your mouth, is that any different from, like, having
Not
a
really,
lollipop?
but it's funny. Like, I think we'd like have popsicles and somebody would be like, "Ooh, I haven't tried that one before." Like,
wow. Okay, well, how does that make you feel, Colin?
I don't even have words. Like it grosses me out to think about that, and I understand. Like I can acknowledge my germaphobeness is a little bit too much at times, but I'm a long ways from being able to do anything like that. I'm trying to grow in it, but. Yeah, no, I don't like it. I can say that confidently. I don't like it.
Yeah. I remember when I was a little girl, like I was at a softball or like baseball game, and I just see like these two brothers, like one just got a whole sucker in mouth, and like the other one just put it in his, and I was so disgusted. I was like, that's like far. And my family like shares stuff too, but I guess I don't know. Maybe it's different if like all of your like spit is on the sucker. This is gross. We should stop. I'm sorry. Okay. There's got to be like, let's see, what was one thing that was like hard? Hard to like get comfortable with, like, about the other person. Maybe this is, but like that you grew in. And if you have nothing, that's great.
I have thoughts. I just feel like I always answer first, so I'm trying to not always answer first.
I've been trying to let you answer first.
Oh, see, look at that. There you go. That is actually a good question, because like there's a lot of things that come to mind. I'm trying to think like what's been a different, like, because on one hand the answer is, I think if you both are fully committed to the relationship and are like actually working towards the other person's, like the good of the other person over your own, a lot of things aren't that hard to grow in. Oh, Sydney just had a face like she's thought of one.
I figured mine out.
What is yours?
So I am very rulesy. Like, rules, follow the rules, make new rules, follow new rules. I love making rules. And that is not not helpful in a relationship, especially if you haven't told the other person the rules.
So what Sydney's talking about, in some cases it is helpful because you are better at establishing like, oh, we need to like establish this as a rhythm or a consistent thing that we do. But yes, there are some times where I will like mention something once, like, oh, I didn't particularly like this thing happened or whatever. And then Sydney will make a rule that, okay, that can never happen again no matter what. And then not tell me about this rule. And it will like be drastically impacting how she lives her life. And I'm blissfully unaware.
And then later I would just like start crying or something. And I'd be like, why does this have to be this way? And he'd be like, it doesn't. And so that was something that like I have learned and grown in and has been very freeing for my life. Like, obviously I still like rules, but like not having to make rules and also like chilling out. Like we said, just chill out.
Yeah. Well, now you're making me feel bad because the one I picked was a thing I've had probably will sound like it's a problem with you. I don't think it is, but like your family operates on a very different time scale than mine. Like my dad was the classic, like, okay, if we need to be there at like 8, we're going to be there at 7:30. And that means, that's like 7:30 is the latest we can get there. So we're going to leave even earlier than we need to get there 30 minutes early kind of guy. And I have a lot of that. And your family has no issues with arriving late to things.
My mom
maybe I'm misspeaking.
would show up like 15 minutes late to church and be really proud of us for only being 15 minutes late.
Yeah. So this was something I had to kind of we have both had to come together on. Is there would be times, especially when we were dating or first got married, that I would be like ready to go for something to get there early. And Sydney's just like still on the couch, like hasn't even started getting ready. And I'm internally freaking out, like, dude, we're going to be late. Like the world is falling apart. Everything is bad. And Sydney doesn't seem to care. And that really bothered me at first. And I had to learn that, I have to communicate when I want to leave. And then she has to communicate when she wants to leave. And then we can usually find the time that actually makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. Because it's like, if it's like very different. But that's like something to learn. Like you probably learned a lot about like, I guess being present in the moment.
Yeah.
But communication is really important.
For sure.
Yeah. I've also learned that people get ready at different speeds. Because like it takes me less time to get ready to do things generally. So at first I was like, okay, I'll just like whenever I start getting ready for something, I'll tell Sydney like, okay, well, you should start getting ready now too. And then we'll be ready at the same time. That is not how it works.
Who takes longer to get ready?
Typically me. It depends on how ready I need to be. Like it's funny because like when I go take tests, I grab my calculator, my pencil, my gum, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But if it's like a nice thing, I
take a little
while.
Might take a bit longer.
Yeah, that's true. You are very comfortable like rolling out of bed and literally like grabbing a granola bar and getting in the car to drive to work. Whereas like for me, I want that time in the morning. Like even though I'm not like necessarily getting ready, like I want 30 minutes at least in the morning to kind of just like, I don't know, mentally prepare for the day. Not like I'm not even like sitting there meditating or anything. I'm usually sitting on the couch.
I'd rather have slept.
Fair enough.
I think I'd like to be where Colin's at, but I am totally like where Sydney's at. That was me this morning. But it just depends on the week.
But it actually worked out really well, I think, because I like that alone time in the morning. So the fact that Sydney is sleeping is great for me. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I have this morning to myself. And then it usually times out about the time where I'm ready to be around people is when I go in to like actually wake you up. And then I'm like, okay, great. Now I want to spend time with you.
Wow. That's good. You guys did get through a lot of my questions. Is there anything else? There's totally other stuff that you want to share.
I feel like we're boring because she kind of asked us about dating stories. I was like, we have very few good dating stories. Like we kind of just hung out and like ate dinner and chatted.
Well, that's fun. I mean, you're getting to know each other, so.
Like we had a good time. It's like I don't remember any like.
Like we went to the concert and We tried a lot of different restaurants in Lincoln.
Oh, this was a fun thing that we did. We did make the rule while we were dating, we tried to never go to the same restaurant twice.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, we did fudge a little bit on like kind of a fast food drive-through thing. Those we were allowed to like redo, especially if like we were in a hurry. But as far as like sitting down and having a meal or a date, yeah, I don't think we repeated any restaurants.
We did go to Bangladesh together.
Oh.
We did. I don't know.
Were you dating at that time?
Mm-hmm.
We were. I don't know how much we can say about that.
Okay, that's fair.
But yes, that was a fun thing. We did go to Bangladesh together with a bunch of other people. It was very good times. But yeah, like we didn't have any like cool fun. Well, I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying I don't think of it. We did a lot of like playing sports with our friends.
That's cool. I think that's fun.
So we also were kind of the classic like students where we did a decent amount of doing homework together.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were taking really hard engineering classes and I was not taking hard classes, but I like to goof around too much that my homework takes me a while.
Same. I cannot do homework with other people. I'll just talk or ask their opinions on stuff while they're trying to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know people like us were the worst.
Yeah.
It's been fun being married and in school. Mostly because I think you helped me take better care of myself than I did when I was just a student.
That's probably true. So, okay, actually, I told my mom I would ask you this the other day, and then I forgot to, because my mom asked, she's like, does Sydney like that she got married while she was still in school? Because, like, my mom wouldn't have liked it. I do not think I want, like, my senior year, I'm glad I wasn't married. Not because I didn't want to be married to you. It's just, like, I think at that point in my life, I was enjoying the single. I guess we were dating, but, like, being single. Like, are you happy that we got married when we did?
Here's the funny part. Like, the things that I remember that I, like, did while we were just dating and I was just in school, like, I would stay up till, like, 3 a.m. studying or working on homework. And, like, at 3 a.m., I would eat, like, tortilla chips and dip. And that was the only thing I ate that night. And, like, I wouldn't go to, like, intramural games or, like, I wouldn't see my friends that much just because, like, I was studying or different stuff like that. But now I feel like you help me be like, okay, like, if the goal is to be in bed by 10, like, let's make sure that we get our homework done. And I have easier classes now, and you're also like, don't you want to go see your friends? And I'm like, do I? And you're like, yeah, I think you'd like to go see. And then it's a great experience.
You talk about like learning weird quirks about the other person. Sydney will forget the things that she likes doing, and I'll have to like be like, hey, why haven't you done this like fun craft thing that you always talk about liking doing? And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot I can do that.
I get very like head down doing the one thing.
Which is something I wish I had more of, because I am like a butterfly in life. I flit around from thing to thing, and I say no. Hummingbird, that's the animal. I stay
There you
nowhere
go.
for very long. Sometimes it'd be nice if I could just sit down and work on things the way you do. I probably could, but I don't. That's a better way to put it.
Okay.
So I should.
Yeah. Okay, my last question is like, what is just something you love about one another that like you don't normally, like you haven't seen in anyone else?
While we're thinking of this, I also have a question I like to ask couples. Can I ask us that question?
Yeah.
I want to answer this one because it's a good thought.
Ask it and then, keep.
We should answer this one.
You
Unless,
said-
do you want this to be the last question?
No, you can.
Okay, good. I think we should answer this because it's a really good
Okay.
idea.
You said what's something that you... Can you ask it again?
Yeah. What's something that you love about one another that you haven't seen in anyone else? Like a quality, or a characteristic.
I think Sydney has the least quit in her of anybody I know. As far as like,
Wow.
like you don't quit on people or things or ideas. Like you have a very strong determination, like with enough time and patience and effort, like things can even very like bad things can be made good, or even like very impossible sounding ideas can come to fruition. I think that's a really cool thing.
Thank you.
That is really cool.
I think you have some of the most curiosity out of like anybody that I've ever seen. And I love that about you because like I'm curious, but like my scope of vision is like this and your scope of vision is like this.
Yeah.
And you like love learning new things and you're like, I love listening to podcasts. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like a good use of your time.
It's true. I do love a good podcast. Like the How Mac Met Cheese podcast.
It's good. It's cheesy.
That's such a good tagline. This is so for preface, this is my favorite question to ask couples, particularly when the other person isn't theirs. I love to ask people like, what would your significant other say is their favorite thing about you? I like asking people that because so many of like people our age I've encountered, when you ask them, they can say what they like about the other person, but they struggle to say what the other person likes about them. But I think it's important that we like recognize our own strengths and celebrate ourselves at times.
So yeah, what's your answer?
Yeah, so Sydney, what do you think?
Answer to the last question that he did. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true. You don't have a little
That's
sheet.
cheating. We can't use that answer. So yeah, what would you say is my favorite thing about you? I'm also trying to think what my answer to this question is.
I think it's tied between you liking that I'm really loving and caring and that like I think about things that like other people might not think about, like, oh, this person is coming to stay with us, like I know that they really like this, like I'll make sure that we have that. And I think you really love like how cute I am. Like I just like enjoy life and just try and be really like cute and like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, similar to that. I would say beyond what we just said, my answer to this question would be for you, like, yeah, I really like how the pace at which you live life, because you do encourage me to stop and smell the roses, as it were. And you are very cute while you do it. I think your favorite thing about me is probably that I think through a lot of things, and like I'm a very considerate person that I take time and think through ideas and decisions and planning.
It's so funny because I was like, give me a second to think about that.
Which is ironic because we were meal planning before this and I hate meal planning. So there's some things I don't like planning. I'm partially thinking, oh, go ahead.
I think my favorite thing about you is how you like encourage me. So yeah, basically what you were saying.
That is not what I meant, but I'll take it. Absolutely. I do like encouraging you though, because sometimes you forget to be your own biggest fan. You're good at being your own biggest critic. And it's important to be both, I think.
I'm not a big words of affirmation person, so me being my own biggest fan is like, eh.
Yeah, and I'm the opposite. I am always my own number one fan, and I struggle sometimes to be critical of myself.
Okay. So guess what we're gonna do next?
Oh no, I actually forgot. In my head, I was like, we need to remember.
Play this or sing the song. Yeah, do you think you can remember it from the beginning?
I start the song, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
We met playing volleyball. That was not the rhythm we sang that.
It's okay.
And then continue playing basketball.
One night hanging out with friends.
And then you walk me to my dorm.
She said no.
Well, just maybe later.
Then fast forward about a couple of years.
Then we got engaged and then we got married at the end. Something like that.
Yeah.
I think we missed the part that was like, oh, what was it? Maybe later. Was doing my singleness, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah. I was doing a month of singleness or something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did skip that.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That's life.
We tried.
High five.
Yeah. Okay. And then the next thing, you see that camera up there?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we're going to close it out. And you guys, do you know what I'm talking about, Colin? We all say like, and that's, and then we say like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you ready?
Sydney, did you get that? Okay, cool.
All right. And that's
How Mac met cheese.